let's talk virtual world for like a second. There are 3 lists you can play, 3 realistic lists. Um, there are 2 big engines you can add, and there's 1 small engine we can add. We're gonna talk about this, so basically 4 lists theoretically. You have the first list, which is a pure list, which is solid. It's arguably the most consistent, plays the least amount of bricks. But the downside here is that the endboard is just very lacking. Like, the best field, theoretically, is like a Crystal Wing, a Shenshen, and a Chuche, which is just super underwhelming. But it's really good because it has Chuche and Shenshen, which is very nice. Then we have the Brave lists. The Brave lists are kind of cool. They give you extra break points. This list is actually... Okay, so this is also playing Cupid, Pitch, and the Hulk. Okay, this is also playing Hulk, so there's a little bit more of a combo list. The Brave lists give you a little bit more extra stuff, but it's kind of awkward. I guess it's less awkward now that you have this guy. Kind of makes sense now a little bit more. Because what you usually used to do is you would make Baron with the Griffin and a Lulu. And now, because of the new synchro, you can make Xinglong with the token that you have left and how do you make this? Is this an oversight from the guy who sent me the deck list? Because you literally cannot summon this card. Okay. So that's the problem. There's no other good level 10s you can make. Because this is probably going to be the Shiksha, the other one, the other level 10. Which kind of sucks. So you use one of the Griffin for like an optimal play, and then you use the token for, I don't know, probably a Hulk in this list, which is kind of awkward to make. So, like, this list has a way better end port because you can end on like Baron, the other level 10, not this guy, maybe an Arclight, or you know, maybe something else, or like better cards, which is cool. But you play like a 1, 2, 3, 4 theoretically bricks. It's not as consistent, you know, it's kind of awkward, doesn't really work. Like, this deck is just not meant to be played with Brave, in my opinion. It's good, but it doesn't work. And this is the super combo version, which focuses on the punks, which is very nice. But the thing that this deck does is Virtual World excellently plays around both Ghost Ogre and Veiler and Imperm. This plays into Ogre, which the deck normally doesn't. This plays into Veiler, which the deck also normally doesn't. So that leaves the entire like thing like, well, like why would you then play this? Like, this ends on a way better board. I completely agree. You end on like a Baron and Savage, you know, and a Shen maybe, which is very cool. And you can kickstart your engine. You know, if the Hulk engine resolves, you have like a very sick board. You have like a very sick, very cool stuff. But the thing is, it's never resolving this format. So why would you play this deck? Because you know it's not going to resolve, and your follow-up will be worse because you've used a lot of cards to commit to it. So that leaves us with this deck. You can maybe play like the third small engine that I was calling about. Like, the small engine could be the Souls package, but if you play Souls in this list, it's not really going anywhere. I guess you can make Baron, which is kind of nice, but it's also, again, not Virtual World names. Like, this deck is interesting, but you need like both this and this for it to work. This deck is interesting, but you need this to work. And this deck is, I think, like the best because you don't play into Ogre, you don't play into Veiler, you don't play into Imperm. You can play all the good cards, you play the least amount of bricks possible. Which is why I think that this is probably the way to go when playing Virtual World. You sacrifice your ceiling, but if you end on Chuche, Shen, like, that deals with the Brave decks. That completely deals with the Brave decks. You just Chuche the token, and you're done. Which is just insane. Pranks can't play through them. Albas has a rough time playing through it. Ish, not really. No, not really. You don't have a bad Albas matchup, I feel like. Yeah, you don't have a kind of a bad Albas matchup. It's maybe a small oversight. You have a good Prank matchup, you have a good Dragon Link matchup. Versus the Rose Tenji decks, you have a good matchup because you have Shen. So overall, I think that this is the way to go instead of like Like, this is cool, but it's just not gonna work. That's the video for tomorrow. Sorry, had to rant about Virtual World. Draw cards. Standby. Main.